Seniors, it starts your senior year. It's a special time. It's a special time for a football player. You got to eat it all up, and you got to go out there and play with everything you got, just like you will all year long.
Today, on the debut of State Champs Extra Point, what happens when several matchups pit East versus West? Week 1 turned out to be one of the most fierce in recent memory. It's the 10th anniversary of what was the Big Day Prep Showdown. Now the Prep Kickoff Classic at Wayne State. A ton of the top players in the state showcasing their skills. But was it enough to start the season with a win? Strap in. State Champs Extra Point is here. State Champs Extra Point is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Also brought to you in part by Hungry Howie's. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to doughrazor.com for details. Van Andel Institute. Get involved. Join us at purplecommunity.org. And Henry Ford Health System. Together, we can. This is the very first edition of State Champs Extra Point here on WXYZ Channel 7. We are presented by the powerful Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. I'm Lauren Plant. Get ready for a Southeast Michigan high school football experience unlike anything you've seen before. All season long, tons of highlights from the Metro's biggest matchups. Tom Markowski is ranking who he thinks are the best teams in Metro Detroit. Mike Martin of the Tennessee Titans is taking you inside the trenches. Henry Ford Health System orthopedic surgeon Dr. Bill Mitsouras is dropping knowledge on how to deal with a shoulder separation. Our Coach of the Week is a man who's faced serious challenges on and off the football field. And our Coach's Corner is with none other than the legend himself, Al FRACASSA. You ready for some football? Let's go. We begin on the gridiron and an epic contest on Thursday night. A MAC versus OAA matchup. Chippewa Valley taking on Lake Orion. First ever meeting between the two teams. Chip Valley on the board first. Tyler Kolka throws it up. Sean Bunting hauls it in. 45-yard touchdown. Big Reds up a quick 7-0. Lake Orion responds later in the quarter. The senior Matthew Kraus in for a 30-yard score. We were knotted at 7. More from the Dragons. Kraus getting the pitch and watch him work the sideline. 80 yards to the house. Check this monster stat. 27 carries, 429 yards for the senior on the night. Lake Orion went into halftime up 28-17. But Chippewa Valley mounted a big comeback in the second half. Trick up their sleeve here, the double reverse. Brendan Murphy to a wide open Kyle Muller. The senior, the 65-yard score. Big Red snatched the lead 31-28. And what a night for Kolka in his first career start. 274 yards through the air. Here, hook it up with Bunting again. 40-yard touchdown. Big-time shootout between these two, and it's Chippewa Valley. Huge win. 38-35 the final. We head to the battle for the city of Farmington bragging rights as Harrison took the short trip to take on their rivals from Farmington High School. Harrison looking to beat Farmington for the 5th straight year. First quarter, the senior Omari Rogers, 10-yard touchdown. Hawks led 6-0. Harrison returns senior dual threat quarterback Javon Shaw, and he can flat out sprint. This is still first quarter action, game tied at 6. Not for long, a 60-yard scamper, touchdown Hawks. More from the talented Shaw in the second quarter. On the keeper, around the edge, and see ya! 45-yard score. He finished the night with 168 yards on just 8 carries, 3 touchdowns. One for the thumb for Harrison. Hawks contain Farmington, 48-12 the final. We go to Wayne State now for one of 8 games this weekend at the Prep Kickoff Classic. Dearborn-Fortson up against the Kicking Mules of Temperance Bedford. We pick things up 2 minutes into the contest. Fortson in yellow struck first. The Central Michigan recruit Jamil Savage breaks a couple of tackles. 39-yard touchdown. 7-0 Tractor. Back comes Bedford. The senior Justin Strickland powering his way into the end zone, and we were tied at 7 after 1. The Tractor offense would kick it up a gear in the second quarter. Senior quarterback Mohamed Zar finding Aban Asulami in the corner of the end zone. Fortson held a 13-7 lead. Then Sabaj once again up the gut, untouched. He racked up 163 yards of total offense, 3 scores on the afternoon. Fortson rolling up 27-7 at halftime. All Fortson on this afternoon. Czar had a great game, going long, connecting with senior Abdullah Jafal. Down the sideline, 47-yard touchdown. The Tractors go on to win the opener down at Wayne State, 41-21 the final in this one. Staying at the PKC, Dearborn head-to-head with West Bloomfield. A couple of minutes into the contest, Dearborn would collect the first score of the football season. Senior quarterback Albert Ferris hits Ismail Bazi in stride. That's a 33-yard pitch and catch. Pioneers led 6-0 after the first quarter. West Bloomfield got back in it in the second. This is the junior Navon Mosley finding his way into the end zone. Lakers take the lead 7-6. 1:13 left in the half. Lakers, another score as junior quarterback Tristan Jackson on the keeper, 12-yard touchdown. West Bloomfield went into the locker room up 14-13. It was all West Bloomfield in the second half. Here, Jackson connecting with the senior Obi Jackson. He will make his way into the paint. West Bloomfield wins the opener, 35-13 the final. The Pinckney Pirates primed and ready for battle as they welcomed in their rivals from South Lyon in an opening night KLAA Till. Jump ahead mid-second quarter. South Lyon already up 7-3. Senior signal caller Anton Skupin delivering a seed to fellow senior Jalen Neer. That put the Lions up 11. Closing minutes of the half now. It's Skupin doing the honors once more as the lanky QB drops one right into the breadbasket of Eric Stevenson. That's 7 more. Skupin accounted for 3 scores on the night. At the half, Lions led 21-3. But the Pirates came out on a mission in the second stanza. Senior quarterback Josh Hess heaves a beauty to fellow senior Mason Carruthers. 14-yard TD reception. All of a sudden, it was 21-16. But South Lyon kept on pressing. Mid-fourth, senior tailback Nico Woods busts up the gut. 27-yard burst. South Lyon with a big statement win as they avenge a couple of tough losses to these Pirates last season and begin their 2014 with a conference victory. 41-16 your final.
Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie Funkhauser, and I am sending a huge shout out to the Chrysler Automotive Company and their dealers for not only their support of high school athletics, but also for sponsoring the Coach's Corner. The one and only Al FRACASSA is here all season long, and that's next on Extra Point.
We want you. We are Lawrence Technological University. And we don't want just anybody. We want students who are curious and driven, students with a passion for hard work and good times, students who will move right in and shoot for the best that Lawrence Tech Southfield campus has to offer. So if you believe that everything is possible and that possible is everything, we want you at LTU.
We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. When we sit down together, we share our expertise. You've got a legal problem, we know you need relief. Advice that you can trust, that's why people come to us. We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
I'm David Faze, and it's time to fire up this week's Saturday special. 2 games from the Prep Kickoff Classic, so let's get right to it.
Let's get it going with the first game on Saturday as Lansing Sexton made the trip down I-96 to Wayne State to take on the Bulldogs from East English Village. The Big Reds from Lansing Sexton would jump out to start the contest as senior quarterback Malik Mack connects with Rashawn Wellborn, and he goes in for the 44-yard touchdown. Sexton with a 21-0 lead in the first half. East English Village started to get back in it just before halftime. Senior quarterback Anton Curtis waiting patiently and then gets it to the junior Nate Boulware, 16-yard touchdown. And then on the Bulldogs' next drive, it's Curtis with the keeper up the middle and goes on in for the 20-yard score. East English down 21-14 going into halftime. But Sexton would be too much on this day. It's Matt getting out of trouble and takes it into the end zone from 11 yards out, as Lansing Sexton would go on to beat East English Village 35-26 the final. Game number 2 featured 2 power squads, Brother Rice of Birmingham and their counterparts, the Brother Rice Crusaders from Chicago. Warriors striking first, as senior QB Alex Malzone finds Delano Madison streaking down the middle. Perfect feed for the 29-yard score and a 6-0 lead. Now down 21-14. The Warriors looking to get the equalizer before the half. The Michigan commit Malzone dropping one into Grant Perry, and the senior does the rest. 69 yards to the house, and it was 21-20 at the break. He finished with 8 catches for 213 yards and 2 scores. Second half now, senior tailback Bobby Dixon getting in on the action as he splits the seam and goes 28 yards to pay dirt, and all of a sudden the Warriors led this shootout 32-27. And in the fourth, the Warriors would put it out of reach. Once again, Malzone finding an open receiver. This time it's senior John Gary for a 10-yard score. Malzone finished the day with 363 yards and 4 TDs as the Warriors win the battle of the Brother Rice schools. 40-34 the final from Wayne State. I'm David Faze for State Champs Extra Point.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a real treat for you and for me. Every week here on the Extra Point, we get to have a conversation with the legendary coach, Al FRACASSA, formerly of Brother Rice, of course you know that, and Royal Oak Shrine. Over 50 years of high school head coaching experience, and he is Michigan's winningest high school football coach of all time. This week, Coach, want to get your thoughts on strength of schedule. I think there's a lot of coaches and programs out there who are divided. They don't necessarily want to schedule a team that they know they can beat, but they worry about making the playoffs outside of their division. They need those 6 wins. It's very important to get to the playoffs. But you took a different strategy.
I believe that we played more teams out of state than any school in Michigan. My assistant coaches, they always wanted to play somebody, you know, from Pennsylvania, from Ohio. If you want to be the best, you play the best. And I kind of like that philosophy. If my assistant coaches were not afraid to play them, why should I be? I just think that it's important that you, to prepare for the season, play the best teams so that you've been there before. If you're gonna get into a playoff and you know how it is to play good football teams. So I think it's helped us to be champions.
Absolutely. Every week here on the program, we want to get Al's thoughts on some of the programs that are here across our great state. And of course, some big games that happen every week. And these are 2 big ones. Next week, we have Macomb, Dakota taking on Chippewa Valley. 2 schools, Mike Giannone, head coach at Dakota. And of course, your former player, Scott Merchant, the head coach at Chippewa Valley. Always a huge game.
Merchant played for me when I was at Brother Rice. And now he's coaching. And he's had some wonderful games at Chippewa Valley, and then Giannone, he's another guy that I heard talk one time at a clinic, and I got all excited because I think I can play for that guy because he's a tough guy, but that's what you want, you know. And I think those 2 coaches are really going to work very, very hard to see if they can beat one another.
Absolutely, and this is a game definitely that you want to check out. We just want to kind of let you know about some of the contests. If you are itching to check out some great high school football, that this would be a great one to see this week.
I want to thank the Chrysler Automobile Company for supporting high school sports in Michigan.
Hello, my name is Dr. Bill Matsouris, team physician for the Detroit Lions, Detroit Country Day, and West Bloomfield High School. Today we're going to be talking about shoulder instability. Shoulder instability is when the shoulder actually pops out of socket and can occur oftentimes with contact sports. When this occurs, you typically need some form of management to allow for the shoulder to be put back into place. This can happen on the sideline, or it can happen in the emergency room if needed. After this occurs, you need to see a healthcare professional to have an evaluation to make sure that the shoulder does not continue to be unstable. That typically leads to physical therapy to allow for strengthening and motion improvement. If this does not allow for improvement, you may need an MRI and you may lead to surgery. If you have any questions, please contact your Henry Ford Health System sports medicine professional.
Presented by Henry Ford Health System. Together, we can.
Tom and Lauren are back for their 5th season of the State Champs High School Football Radio Show. New day, Saturday mornings. New time, 9 to 11 a.m. New home, CBS Sports Radio, 1270 a.m. Podcast info is at our website, statechampsnetwork.com.
My purple is defeating cancer.
My purple is my grandma.
Everyone has a reason for joining Purple Community.
My purple is fighting Parkinson's.
My purple is my mother.
Because that's where the fight to end cancer, Parkinson's, and other diseases begins. When you participate in a Purple Community event, 100% of your donation goes directly to research at Van Andel Institute. Get involved. Join us at purplecommunity.org.
Fundraising should be fresh, flavorful, and simple. We have the perfect solution at Hungry Howie's, Dough Raiser. Your nonprofit organization can sell paper pizza certificates that your customers can redeem for one medium pizza at participating Hungry Howie's locations. Go to doughraiser.com to learn about, sign up for, and order everything Dough Raiser. Request a Dough Raiser kit for your group today. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Welcome to Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser.
You think you're getting past me? By the time you experience the world of pain. Here I come, lung cancer. Deep breaths, baby, deep breaths. Game on, cancer!
Get in the game at GameOnCancer.com.
Hey, I'm Sean Beligian, and it's time for another season of the Coach of the Week, and this year it's brought to you by our friends at Lawrence Tech. Our selection from one of the powerhouses, Mike Giannone from Dakota.
Do not go around adversity when it hits tonight. Go through it.
Coach Giannone will begin his 17th year at Dakota, and even after all this time, it's still all about family.
We want to be able to build relationships with our kids. We have a lot of kids come back after they get done with their high school career. We talk to them all the time. They call us. We follow their careers, their family.
After a recent health scare, Coach needed all the family he could get, and he says it helped him out immensely.
I had a little scare, prostate cancer. We caught it early, and being with the family here of the football family as well as my own family, we got through it.
Well, back-to-back state champs in 06 and 07, and now a message for all is the motto in 14.
Well, the motto this year is kick it down. We've been knocking at the door for quite a few years since the state championship, and we're tired of knocking, and it's time to kick it down.
The Coach of the Week is presented by Lawrence Tech. For more info on LTU Athletics, go to ltuathletics.com. I'm Sean Beligian for State Champs Extra Point.
Hey guys, I'm Ashley Raymond, and joining me now is Tom Markowski. Now, Tom has released his Super 10 teams from around the state. You can see up on your screen, but this is a local show. So, Tom, who are your top Metro teams?
We got to start with Clarkston, who's my #1 overall team, but then you have Brother Rice #2 and Oak Park #3. And about these top 10 in the Metro Detroit, you have 6 from Oakland County, 2 from Macomb County, and 2 from Detroit. 3 of these teams are in the Catholic League, 2 from the PSL. Notably, Cass Tech and King, who are supposed to be very good this year and maybe make a run in the state playoffs. But looking at the Catholic League teams, you have Detroit Catholic Central, Warren D. LaSalle on the list, and of course, Brother Rice. And some other teams could get in there from like Orchard Lake St. Mary's from the Catholic League Central Division, or in Macomb County, you have Utica Eisenhower who could make these rankings. So that's a quick look at our rankings, and we'll have more next week.
So go to our website at statechampsnetwork.com every Sunday night to see Tom's updated list. So now let's head back to the highlights.
Hey fans, this is Ryan Terpstra with a look at a few great East versus West matchups. Our first game comes from Muskegon, where the Big Reds played host to Detroit Catholic Central. After a scoreless first quarter, DCC broke through in the second. Joseph Fanning calls his own number and scores on the QB keeper to give the Shamrocks a 7-0 lead. Muskegon answered right back. New quarterback Sean Fenning, looking a lot like last year's quarterback Deshaun Thrower on this play, juking defenders for the score to tie the game up at the half. We move to the fourth quarter now. 4th and 15 for Catholic, and they are down by 7. Fanning going for it all and lands a perfect ball right into the arms of Victor Dorita. DCC ties the game with just 3 minutes to play. But that was too much time to give Muskegon. Fenning pitches to Alize Coleman. He dodges a tackle, gets to the sideline, heading for the pylon, leaps, and touchdown Big Reds. An incredible finish to a hard-fought game sees Muskegon claim a 21-14 victory over Detroit Catholic Central. Utica Eisenhower traveling to Rockford. These two met for the first time ever last year, which the Rams won, and Ike wanted to even the score. Let's jump to the third quarter. Rockford up 14-3, but the Eagles are driving. Jake Bradsher lofts it over the defense and hits Nick Ribbing in stride for the 37-yard touchdown. That makes it 14-10. Rockford with a chance to go back up by 2 scores. Jake Senzik picks his way through the hole for the 7-yard touchdown run, and the Rams now up 21-10 in the fourth quarter. So last chance for Ike to get back in it, running the option. The pitch hits the turf. Junior safety Tyler Bradfield scoops up the ball and takes it 36 yards to the house. That's the icing on the cake for Rockford as they beat Utica Eisenhower 28-10. In our next game, Canton made the 3-hour trip all the way to the Lake Michigan shoreline to face Holland West Ottawa. In the first quarter, the Chiefs got off to a great start on the ground. Charles Turf takes the handoff and powers his way into the end zone for the score. Canton is up 14-0 just 5 minutes into the game. Canton's power running game was on during the entirety of this game. 285 yards just on the ground. Sophomore Marcus Sanders had 109 of that to go along with this touchdown as Canton makes the long trip worth it with a statement win, 31-21 over Holland West Ottawa.
Coming up next on Extra Point, a former hometown high school and college football star is now getting it done every Sunday in the NFL. His mission here on Extra Point, to make you a better football player. Inside the Trenches is next.
We want you. We are LTU, Lawrence Technological University, and is one of the nation's best schools for engineering, architecture, and technology. We don't want just anybody. We want students who are curious and driven, students who want to change the world through technology, science, and design. So if you believe that possible is everything, we want you at LTU.
Interesting. Look, now that the Howie Roll is ready to go for lunch, we need to assist our coworkers in making their way to Hungry Howie's.
By stealing lunches.
Stealing. I am inspiring. I'm motivating.
Who's the dead man?
Quick, eat this.
How's that taste?
Horrible.
Get a Howie Roll with a 20-ounce Pepsi for just $5. Or get a meal deal for any size budget. Now that's an idea.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
I'm Mike Martin, former Detroit Catholic Central Shamrock, Michigan Wolverine, and current Tennessee Titan. Welcome inside the trenches. Fellas, today we're gonna work on hand placement. We got to get full extension. Every single position this is important for. But for me, being a defensive lineman is crucial. Offensive line, linebackers, wideouts can all benefit from this. You guys have to get separation to get off the blocker or get off the guy blocking you. To be a premier football player, you have to be able to get off guys and make plays. Uncommon actions bring uncommon results. Fellas, you gotta train hard and dream big, and good things will happen, I promise you. I'm Mike Martin, I'll see you next week.
Next up at the PKC, a couple of Oakland County powerhouses matching up. The Catholic League Central Division's Orchard Lake St. Mary's and the OAA White Southfield Blue Jays. Let's start in the second quarter. OLSM already up 7-0, make that 14-0. Junior quarterback Brandon Timone takes the big blow, but able to reach Mr. Football candidate MSU recruit Tyson Smith. Big 60-yard touchdown. Back comes Southfield late in the half. Kanye Harris over to Ray Buford on the screen. The Minnesota commit will do the rest to the end zone. 28-yard score. Blue Jays down 14-6 at intermission. The difference would wind up on special teams. Eaglet Jr. Khalil Hamler on the punt return. Daylight and the dagger. 48-yard touchdown. Orchard Lake St. Mary's holds off a late comeback by Southfield. They take it 21-19. Now to the Friday night nightcap down at Wayne State. The headliner featured two of our preseason top 10 teams, Oak Park and the Technician from Cass Tech. And as we expected, this one lived up to the billing. We picked things up in a scoreless second quarter. Oak Park Junior quarterback Chauncey Lohman slings it to Varand White. The senior slips a couple of tackles. Next, gone. 85 yards to pay dirt. Knights led 6-zip. Cass Tech is led by one of the early favorites for Mr. Football, Mike Weber. Here, the Michigan commit, up the middle, no one can stop him. 70-yard touchdown, we were tied at 6 as we headed into halftime. The pace picked up from there. Lohman dumping it off this time to John Kelly, and watch another one of our Mr. Football candidates go to work. 53 yards, one of 3 touchdowns on the night. Knights led 19-6 going into the fourth. Cass had an answer. Pair of sophomores hooking up. Rodney Hall to Donovan People-Jones, and he gives the people what they want. 53-yard TD, Technicians down 6. To the final 3 minutes of the game, CT down 26-20, and they give it to who else? The Wonder Boy, Weber. This 1-yard plunge put Cass up for the first time all night, and the Technicians hang on to win 27-26. StateChampsNetwork.com is the epicenter of the State Champs universe. Now, every week, we are the place to catch the break-in scores of every high school football game in the state. Scores are broken down by conferences, so no more scrolling web pages trying to find your team. Want to send us a score? Call the hotline or text the cell. We'll do the rest. That's all for now. We'll see you next time on The Extra Point. State Champs Extra Point is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Also brought to you in part by Hungry Howie's. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to doughrazor.com for details. Van Andel Institute. Get involved. Join us at purplecommunity.org. And Henry Ford Health System. Together, we can.